thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sonia. This is Sonia with an I. And today I am sharing with you my epic June fail. As you can see from the thumbnail, I didn't do very well in June. So backstory. I in June decided that I wanted to read The Rainbow, and I set a June TBR. I do not normally do TBRs because I am a mood reader. And I should have went with my first initial instinct, but you know, I was having a little bit of FOMO. Everybody had their like summer reading list, and I was thinking, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I failed. But I didn't fail completely. And failure is the best lesson in life. So let me share with you what I did, and I'll let you judge whether or not you think I'm a failure. So, and this is fun. I set a June Read the Rainbow TBR. I wanted to read all of these cozy mysteries. Well, I got a little over halfway. And, you know, I feel like that's sort of a success for someone who doesn't normally set a TBR. But I don't think it's as big as a success as I really wanted it to be. I had some, you know, of course, when you have a goal, then distractions come. And a lot of books that I requested from the library came in. So, of course, I had to read those because, you know, there's a timestamp there. And I was tempted by some other books that my friends were reading or that I just discovered or I was in the mood for. So, yes. So I'll share with you what I did read and how I rated them. So the first one I did read was Clammed Up by Barbara Ross. I actually listened to this one. I found that if it was on audio, I was more likely to listen to it than I was to eyeball read it. So in Clammed Up, the main character's name is Julia, and Julia is, she works in the city and she comes back home because her parents' clam bake business is not doing well. So she moves back. Now she was born and raised here, so it's a very familiar place. And she is trying to help her family get through this. And she's working really hard. And it's the first day of the season. And they end up having this big clam bake and for a wedding party. And then the groom is found dead. So a groomsman is found dead. So then there's a murder investigation. Well, the financial part of this, the banker keeps calling and pressuring them and saying, you're closed too many days, we're going to have to take the loan. So there's a lot of stress in that. I liked the setting of this. I really like the whole, I love clam bakes and anything that's coastal. Even though I'm allergic to shellfish, I still find that stuff very fascinating. It seems like a good atmosphere. I love the vibe. I did not care for the main character. I felt like she was really immature. Her brother-in-law was really mean, and I felt stressed out reading this. It didn't feel comfortable and cozy to me because I was so stressed out about the money, and you know, there was lots of talk about not having the money and not having this and that, and I don't know. I rated this 2.5 stars. I won't continue the series. I don't think it wasn't a bad book. It just was not the book for me. Though I am bummed because, I mean, I love seaside stuff, but this just wasn't the read for me. Now, if that stuff does not bother you and you enjoy coastal vibes or summer vibes, this has it. Totally has it. The next book that I have was the orange book was The Readaholics and the Falcon Fiasco by Lauren D. Silverio. I didn't even get to this. I didn't even crack it open. So that was the one that I didn't even get to. The next one that I did read was this was my yellow, Her Royal Spyness. This is by Reese Bowen. In this story, Georgiana is 30 something in line for the crown. And because she has royal blood and she has royal relatives, she's not really allowed to work in the public. She's not allowed to do things very publicly, but she's as poor as a church mouse. And she needs to find some way to support herself. And as she's trying to do this, the queen has asked her to spy on her son because her son is canoodling with this actress, and she doesn't want that. She wants her son to be more proper and to get married, carry on the line. And so she's doing this, but she also is just trying to make a living. And she's not really doing very well at it because she doesn't know how to work. She doesn't even know how to start a fire. Because, you know, she's always had servants to do that. She has a best friend that is a lot. And this takes place in the 1930s, and I find it an interesting historical, a lot of the historical things I found interesting. I didn't really care for her best friend. I feel like her best friend was just like pressuring her to you know, have relations all the time. And Georgie is kind of wanting to take her time in her relationships. There was a lot of relationship stuff in this. I rated this 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good read. I'm not in a huge hurry to get to the next one. I may continue the series. I'm not real sure. I have other things that I want to read more. So I did enjoy this. I thought it was a good book. I know a lot of people really love this. I just, I felt like that it was heavy in relationships. Like, you know, the race to, you know, have relations for the first time was kind of a big deal in it to me. I will say the Audible version, the person who reads this, 5 stars for her. It was, the narration was excellent. I really enjoyed that. So the green one I did read as well, and this was Buried in a Bog by Sheila Connolly, and I gave this one 5 stars. Out of this was one of my favorites in my read. So in this book, Mara's grandmother has passed away, and her grandmother has requested that she goes to Ireland, to the town that she grew up with, and go and just stay there for a bit, make connections, get to know the people, get to know the environment. And Mara and her grandmother lived very poorly. They didn't have much. Mara didn't have her mom or her dad. I believe her dad died when she was young, and her mom abandoned her. So her grandmother was her parent, which I relate to. And she goes to Ireland. She doesn't have any clue or any idea where she's going to stay or what she's going to do. Her grandmother made sure there was enough money for her to go there and to get back. And she wanted her just to have that experience. I loved this. I love Mara. Mara is very practical. She's very likable. She's kind of no nonsense too. She's had a rough life, and she's really curious and wants to know more because of her love for her grandmother. She wants to know more of her grandmother's history. I loved every bit of this. So in this discovery, of course, there's a body found in the bog, and there's a murder investigation. Like I said, I really love this. I can't wait to read the next one. It's not that binge. I don't have the binge desire with this, but I definitely want to read the next one because I loved Mara so much, and I love the little village. The little village that she goes to just kind of embraces her, and is so quirky and so cute and so interesting. So this was Buried in a Bog by Sheila Connolly. I would say out of all the books that I read, this was probably at least one of my top favorites. The next book was my blue, and it is Getting Old is the Best Revenge by Rita Lakin. This was number 2 in the Gladdy Gold series. I love Gladdy Gold. I gave the first book 5 stars. I have loved the adventure in this. I have laughed out loud multiple times. This is your funny cozy. This is a group of older ladies. They have decided to open this PI business, and it's hysterical. These ladies live in a retirement village, and they are hired to spy on this woman's husband, this elderly woman's husband, because she thinks he's having an affair. And they have that, but on the side, there are some kind of curious deaths happening of older women, older rich women. So they kind of start getting involved in that, and they win a cruise. So this story was just jam-packed with fun and excitement. I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I really love the main character. I really love Gladdy, and I love how it's funny and it's quirky, but there's also some very touching moments in it too. Like Gladdy's had she lost her husband tragically, and she's kind of dealing with that because finds herself falling in love with somebody else. And the relationship part, because I don't usually love relationships in my cozies. The relationship part of this, I feel, is very well done. I feel like the ladies and the adventure and the murder is the main focus, and the relationship is kind of like the side story, and it's told very well. So really enjoyed this one. I gave it 5 stars. The next book was A Final Sentence by Daryl Wood Gerber. I didn't even crack this one open yet. So I didn't even get to this. I didn't even crack it open. So what I'm going to do is put it back into my I need to read pile. And when I feel like I want to read about a cookbook or this appeals to me, I'll pick it up. And last was my purple, was my violet book. It was First Degree Fudge, a fudge shop mystery by Christine DeSmet. And I DNF'd it. There is something about me in Mackinac Island cozies. I don't know. I just haven't found one that I love. And the last one, the Fudge Shop by the Nancy Coco, I did finish. I read it, and I did read it and finish it, but I didn't feel the need to continue it. It just didn't work for me. And this one, the murder happened almost instantly. I didn't have any connection. Like, I kept reading, trying to get a connection, and after about 4 chapters, I still couldn't get a connection, and I was like, okay, I'm making myself read this. So I DNF'd it. Yeah. So I missed 3. I have 4. I read more than I didn't. So that's a plus, right? That's a win. And I found, I had 2 5 stars. So that's definitely a win for me. I continued a series that I've been wanting to continue. I found a new series that I definitely want to continue. And I read a series that I've heard many, many people talk about and have been curious of. And so in my eyes, this isn't really a fail. This is more of a win. So, yeah. What did you read in June? Do you have a TBR? Are you a mood reader? Tell me what you did in the comments. I'd love to see that. If you've made it to this far, you are a real one. Leave a rainbow emoji if you would. And thank you so much for being here. If you're new here and you like this vibe, please subscribe. If you have been here a while and you're an old friend, thank you so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. I am having an absolute blast meeting new people and doing all these fun videos. So thank you again. If no one has told you today how much you matter, you make this world a better place just being a part of it. So thank you for doing that. And until next time, happy reading. Goodbye.